Thank you for tuning in to I'm Mad as Hell and I'm Not Gonna Take It Anymore. I'm your host, Tito Luv, and we're gonna bring you a great program. We're gonna talk about the real estate industry, subprime loans. We're gonna talk about the Saudi Arabians and their oil. We're gonna talk about healthcare, prejudice, religion, and abortion. But then we're going to talk to business owners. Is it still the right climate to start a business, continue a business, lay people off in unemployment, or add more like Walmart is doing? Are unions good or not? Should we have given the auto industry any money? The money that we're giving out through the stimulus, did it really work? We're going to answer your questions. I'm your host, Tito Luv. We're mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. Welcome to I'm Mad as Hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And today, you're lucky. You're getting a very charming gentleman. We call him the real estate man. He's from Exit Inland Realty, and he's going to treat you good. Bob Bishop, thanks for coming on the program.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Tito.
How long have you been a real estate man?
Oh, about 20 years now.
See, if you listen to him, you might learn something. You know, you're not that smart. You get smart with Bob because Bob's smart. Let me ask you this. In troubled real estate times, what should people do with their homes? How should they sell it or buy it?
Well, the one thing I'd like to suggest to people is don't let your house go all the way to foreclosure.
Okay.
A lot of people, they start to get behind on their payments. They start to get discouraged. They're worn out from all the collection calls and everything like that, and they just throw up their hands and say, forget it. I don't care.
Some move out, right?
I'm going to live here as long as I can for free, and then I'll move out when I have to move out. And
doesn't that ruin your credit and all that stuff?
Well, that's what my point is if you allow that, if you do that, then there's many ways that's going to impact you in the future. First off, any negative like that, like a foreclosure, is going to be on your credit report probably for around 7 to 10 years.
7 to 10? That's a long time.
Now, the disadvantage of that, there's 3 or 4 ways that impacts you. Number one, many employers nowadays, when you apply for a job, will pull a credit report on you to find out the character and how you manage your life.
If I'm a deadbeat, I'm not going to get a job now?
At the bottom of the application, it says that they can investigate you any way that they want to, and so they can pull a credit report on you if they want to, and you may not get that job because of that foreclosure on your credit report. I have a friend of mine who's in accounting. They've applied with several firms for an accounting position. Those firms pulled a credit report on them, found out that they had the foreclosure on their credit report, and didn't hire them because they said, well, if you can't manage your own finances, how do we expect you to come in here and be able to manage our customers' finances?
That makes sense. That makes
so
sense.
It says a lot about your character that you let something go that long to where it has to be a foreclosure. Number two, if you go to rent an apartment or a house after you move out of the house that you wouldn't let go to foreclosure, the landlords are going to pull a credit report on you again, and you may not be able to get the house or the apartment or the condo that you want to rent after you get a foreclosure on your credit report. The other thing is, if you go out to buy any kind of insurance, health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, anything,
also?
Insurance companies always pull your credit report, and your rates are based partly on your character because insurance companies are looking at risk.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're the kind of person that doesn't care about your house and things like that, then they consider that you may not continue to make your payments on your insurance.
And all this because
maybe
you're not keeping your
that's not the end of it. The end of it is if in the future you want to get any kind of credit cards or loans, a car loan, a school loan, anything like that, if you can get them, you're going to always pay a higher interest rate because of that black mark on your credit report. Now, some people do a double whammy. They let the house go back to foreclosure and they file bankruptcy. So they have a bankruptcy black spot and the foreclosure black spot on their credit report. And partially, I have to say that if you talk to an attorney about filing bankruptcy, 9 times out of 10 they're going to tell you, "Oh, you need to file a bankruptcy. Can you sign my commission?
I'm getting depressed.
They want to make some money from you, so they want their retainer.
So they're
going to encourage you to file a bankruptcy when you may not be able to do that. The smart thing to do is to do what we call, if you can't get a loan modification from the lender that you're working with, the smart thing to do is to do a short sale.
Secret family recipes the cookbook. And let me tell you about this. We have a 105-year-old eggnog from Noreen Havarella. We have people in the East, Midwest, and West Coast who've given their secret family recipes. Maybe in the future, you might want to put one in our next issue. And my email is Tito.Love, spelled L-U-V, at Verizon.net. 1/3 of this book are food tips. 1/3 is what type of spice, salt, the pepper, gabis, bon appetit. And 1/3 are wine quiz questions and answer. You can email me at Tito.Luv@Verizon.net. Bon appetit.
What's a short sale?
Well, the reason they call it short sale
Because
is
it's little?
no,
Oh.
is because the lender is going to accept less money than what you owe them.
Oh, they're going to work with you.
They're going to work with you. So if you say owe $300,000 on your house and it's worth less than $200,000, they're going to allow you to sell it for the lower amount of money because that's what the current market value
In other words,
is now.
nobody wants to destroy you because you're down. They'll
And
work with you.
by taking less money when the transaction closes, they take a short payoff.
Oh,
So that's why it's called a short sale.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
another better way to explain it would be it's called a pre-foreclosure sale.
oh, okay.
And most of the banks would prefer to do that because for a bank to take one repo back, it costs them $50,000 and counting. Because then they got to worry about all the property management part after they take the property back. Will it be vandalized? How can we keep it secured so squatters don't move in? There's 100 different things. So if the homeowner is willing to step up and take responsibility, put the house on the market, find a buyer at a price where the market value is now, submit the paperwork that the lender's requesting, and the lender is able to get an approval from their investors on that short sale, on your credit report, that's going to show that that property was paid off, that loan.
Well, okay, so it won't hurt you then.
Exactly.
That's
So
smart.
that you will have some lates on your credit report for the months late that you were
But
for
then
all
they
the
understand
payments.
that's his time.
But in the future, if you want to go out for another loan or buy another house or something, you can write a letter explaining the reason what created those lates and why you had to do the short sale.
Oh, okay.
But having it shown paid off because you did a short sale on your credit report shows that you're a responsible person. You did what you had to do to get the problem resolved for everybody, the buyer, the lender that you had the loan for,
Yeah.
and for yourself too. So in the long run,
okay.
it's the most positive way to deal with the circumstances right now if you need to get out of your house.
So don't be a deadbeat. Live up to your obligations, and the bank or lender or what have you will work for you, right?
Absolutely.
They'll work with you so you can get out of that uncomfortable situation, and it won't negative you for the next 7 to 10 years.
Well, many times you'll get to stay in the house pretty much the same period of time that you would have if you just
Oh,
stayed there if
okay.
it was a bank
Yeah.
repo. So you don't really gain extra time of not having to make payments. And one thing I want to mention about a short sale, when the bank approves a short sale, they pay all the costs.
I like
So if
that.
you're behind on your property taxes, they're going to catch them up. If you're behind on your association dues, they're going to
Oh,
catch
that's
them up.
neat.
So they're going to make, and they also pay all the selling costs, the cost for the realtor and everything.
Oh,
So
great.
as far as the homeowner goes, there's no out-of-pocket cost for them to be able to participate
That's
in
why
a
it's
short
better
sale.
to stay there and work it out the way you said than being a
Absolutely.
deadbeat and walking away from it.
Now Obama's trying to put a program in too, where we would even be able to offer $1,500 moving money to the homeowners.
Oh, that's neat.
So that if they are in a short sale, that it would encourage them not to go to foreclosure, but to do the short sale so that they can get the $1,500 moving money, and likewise not to vandalize the properties.
Well, what about I hear these deadbeats that have companies saying, oh, I'll help you stay in your place and make you pay them money, and then they don't get you the loan and rip. Is that a lot going on around?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of that, a lot of fraud related to that. Unfortunately, the state of California just put a new law through where you have to do that kind of work. You have to post a $100,000 bond with the state, register with the state.
That's a good idea.
And if you don't, I think it's like a $25,000 fine and 5 years in jail.
Oh.
So they've had so much abuse by companies, loan modification companies, out there taking people's money and then not doing anything.
So it's been done a
that
lot.
the state has stepped in to try and clean that up as much
Arnold,
as they can.
you pumped me up. You and Marie, you pumped me up.
Now what's happened is attorneys have stepped in, and attorneys are trying to do that job of loan modifications for a lot of homeowners and stuff. What I find is that if the homeowner has a good job and he still has good income, then he has a greater opportunity of a modification being accepted.
Let me ask you another question I've been hearing. I've been hearing that stockpile offers. In other words, I talked to one guy and he said, yeah, I got 10 offers on these, and some people are offering to pay more than the house is worth. What's that about?
Well, right now what's happened is that during the holidays from November to March, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and some of the major lenders postponed doing foreclosures.
Oh, okay.
Because they didn't want to look evil like Snidely Whiplash, throwing people out of their house, during the holidays.
Snidely Whiplash. You know, the big mustache and the dog Monday.
That's for people in your age, yeah. So at any rate, besides the Snidely Whiplash issue, so what happened is all of the foreclosure inventory that was out on the market last year and going into January, February, March was bought up very, very quickly because the banks were not replenishing that and continuing to put foreclosures out there from November to March. For 5 months, they basically were on hold.
Oh,
okay?
it's just stockpiled.
So since March was up and they lifted the moratorium, now they're starting to process all of that backlog of 5 months of bank foreclosures. What happened during that time, because the inventory shrunk down, the amount of houses that were out there for sale, well, first off, because of the limited number, many people will put an offer in on the same house. Somebody will put it in for this, and they'll talk to the agent. The agent says, well, I have an offer for this. So they'll say, well, if I offer more, will I get the house? So when the inventory is low, houses that are on the market are almost virtually auctioned.
Oh, okay.
See? Now, the same thing is happening with the short sales. Because the inventory of repos went down because of the moratorium, it was driving people to short sales because those are the only other kind of properties that are for sale out there. Very few people have any equity to be able to just sell their house as a conventional sale.
A lot own more than it's worth now.
Almost everybody.
Oh.
Okay, so the house either has to go all the way to foreclosure and come back on the market as a foreclosure, or it has to be on the market as a short sale for the homeowners trying to get out of it and resolve something with their lender.
Oh, okay.
So the same thing is happening to the short sales now as was happening to the repos, as we're getting multiple offers on all of our short sale properties because the inventory is so low that if a house is on the market for a couple days, chances are it's probably got 4 or 5 or 6.
Wow.
And so what we're having to do with buyers is we're having to show them properties every week, large numbers of properties, and in some cases write 3 and 4 offers or more on different houses in hopes that maybe one of those offers, since there's multiple offers on each one, maybe one of those offers may be accepted by the lender. So it's very frustrating right now for the buyers.
Well, we're going to be back in a moment. We're going to stop for a short, important Anytime our advertisers or sponsors have an important message, it's, they pay the bill. Be right back in a moment. This is, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it
anymore.
What was it, Bob?
We're mad as hell and we're not going to take it anymore.
Don't you forget it. I got my eyes on you.
Hi, I'm Realtor Bob Bishop. Are you behind in your house payments? Did you know that if you get a foreclosure on your credit report, that it can affect your job prospects, your future for getting other car loans and credit cards and everything for up to 7 years? Don't let this happen to you. Call me today. I can help you with all the options that are available. 951-318-1952. Call today, 951-318-1952. I'm Realtor Bob Bishop, Exit Inland Realty.